I know what people mean when they say giving back, but what I would say is that if you're having to give something back, wouldn't it be because you wrongfully took it in the first place? Hello and welcome to the Durham Talents channel. My name is Jesse Durham. For today's installment of our quote series, we're going to evaluate the phrase of giving back. Now, I can tell you right off the top of the bat that as a parent, when I think about the phrase of give it back, I'm thinking of, okay, well, there's one child that pulled a toy out of the hand of the other child, and there you are encouraging them to give it back to the other child because it was taken wrongfully. So that's some context, okay, for my parents out there and grandparents out there. I know what folks are saying when they're saying giving back. And in general, of course, the idea of being charitable is great. Thinking beyond yourself to others, whether that's in your family, your church, your community, your country. I mean, there are all kinds of great individuals and programs, outreaches out there that are doing wonderful things that I'm excited about being a part of and helping with and have helped with, and that you are, I'm sure. But I'm just asking us to consider, okay, like we do on our quote series, we look at some quote, whether it's known or not so well known. Giving back, I believe, is going to be very well known. And I'm just going to give some pushback on this concept of giving back. And I'll give honor where it's due. You know, I believe the recognition of a different perspective on that kind of a saying came from Rabbi Daniel Lapin. You know, I read his book, Thou Shalt Prosper, several years ago. And he does a good job of painting the picture how, you know, Hollywood and others will often start, let's say, a movie with, you know, some dark, sinister background, looking up at the top room and, you know, the large suite in a skyscraper, and looking at the evil, wicked businessman. And you can just tell by the music, you can tell by the background, you can tell by all these things, right? But business is what makes the world go round. There's no question about it. Small business is the backbone of America. So, you know, lots of our clients they're business owners. They own their own small business. So this idea of giving back, okay, and that's what I was trying to describe, of course, is that, you know, well, the businessman only got to the top because of doing people wrong, taking more than he should have, and that kind of thinking. Well, if something were wrongfully taken, there could be some validity to this idea of giving back. And again, I've listened to folks that I respect that use that phrase. But again, I'm going to give, I hope, a bit of perspective, a bit of seasoning to that, okay, to get us to consider it in a different way. If something was wrongfully taken, like a child taking a toy of another child, that's going to have to be given back. But if something was well earned from effort, whether that's personal effort or your money at work, and you've earned something, is it actually giving back if you do something charitable? In one way, I see how it could be. In one way, I see that even in the context of mutually beneficial opportunities, I provide some product or service, you pay me for that, and then vice versa. You provide some product or service, I pay you. Even in that example, is there an opportunity there for me to say, well, you know what? It's above and beyond what you deserve. I mean, we've already completed our transaction, and it was good for you and it was good for me. But if I wanted to do something extra, if I charitably wanted to throw in some bonus, or you have something in life going on that I notice and like, okay, well, I'd like to gift you with this. See, gifting and doing something charitable is very different in my way of thinking, in my mind, than giving something back. That can imply that I took it, that there was some transgression that took place for me to feel a need to give it back. And again, I think it's incredible to read about folks like Rockefeller, who did so much in his lifetime and then contributed so much towards libraries and other things that outlasted his lifetime. That's incredible to do charitable things, to gift. It's a wonderful thing. I'm close to one of our children's birthdays right now, and what I've decided to do is, give gifts over, probably a week before his actual birthday at the time of this recording. Every day you give him something instead of just all at once, just to be able to spread out the joy and the anticipation and his excitement and those types of things. Getting a gift here, getting a gift there, being a surprise. So I love going above and beyond. We tithe at our church, and offerings and charitable giving, and we've got lots of great programs here where we're at. I'm sure you're aware of some where you are, whether it's, I'm not going to name names. You're going to give where you want to give. I'm going to give where I want to give. But giving back, I'm just trying to have us pause and consider the meaning behind that phrase, and whether or not we'll continue to use it. I'm not inclined to use that phrase now, having been exposed to, like I said, thinking from Rabbi Daniel Lapin. I would encourage you to check out his book, Thou Shalt Prosper. And again, Nash, of course, confronts the ailments of socialist thinking in his book, Becoming Your Own Banker. And, of course, he makes lots of recommended readings, okay? And the whole concept of redistribution and social justice and different things like that. It's an interesting conversation. When I came across this saying of giving back, I knew that I wanted to cover it here on the channel. So if you would let me know your comments and takeaways and your thinking in the comments section, or you can send that to me directly, and for those that are implementing the infinite banking concept already, when you do get beyond looking at debt recapture or financing things in your life or financing things for your business, you can get to where you use the cash values that you have in a system of policies or in a policy. You can use that for charitable giving. You can use that for gifts. You can use that for donations. Okay, you're becoming your own banker. That's your capital that you have access to. And really, when you think long range, like Nash encouraged us to do, you can think about how what you build in your privatized banking system and the thinking that you can pass on to the next generation or to organizations that you care about can impact those next generations and those organizations that you care about because of the death benefit you're leaving behind. And you can have a lasting impact if you are in a giving mindset here and now, and you want to perpetuate that as well. Again, after your graduation, after your passing, then you can give. I'm gonna push back against the phrase of giving back. I know that I've certainly received many things in my life that I did not deserve. God has been very kind to me, very gracious to me. And I know that giving is very important to many of our listeners. So that's another reason, again, why I wanted to cover this. So if you'd like to have a conversation about how to give more, how to use your privatized banking system to help you give more, I've covered that here. So I encourage you to check out our other materials, and also for us to have a conversation about what that could look like for you. And I do look forward to that conversation, and I hope you have a great day. Take care. Mine. I wrote that down when I knew I was going to be doing this episode. I thought about, what is that, Finding Nemo and all the seagulls, right? Mine.